Look, I know it's only September, early September, as I'm posting this video, but in my mind, fall starts, well, like kind of in July, but 1st of September, that's when we start fall reading around here. So today I'm bringing you my fall TBR. That is enough of these. Yes, I know, I'm absolutely terrible at doing TBRs. I'm such a big mood reader, but I love planning my reading for the fall time. So I thought I would show you books that I could like maybe read in the next couple of months. Maybe I can also just give you guys some ideas as for what you may want to read in the fall. So we're gonna get right into the TBR in just a second because I do want to talk about this video's sponsor, which is Skillshare. So thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you guys did not know, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different classes that you can possibly take in anything ranging from like graphic design, animation, writing, and if you're not so much into those kinds of topics, they also have like productivity, lifestyle, basically a lot of things. A couple of my personal favorite aspects of Skillshare are the fact that it is ad-free, so there are no interruptions when you're taking your course. They're launching tons of new premium classes every week, so there's always something new to discover, and it's super accessible because they have an entire catalog full of videos with subtitles on them as well. So I just love that you can discover something you never knew you were interested in on Skillshare, or you can just make an existing interest of yours even more fulfilling, so that's just very cool. A class that I've personally been interested in recently, mainly because I got this new plant and I'm already scared it's gonna die on me. But to help me not kill my plant, hopefully, I've been watching Plants at Home, Uplift Your Spirit and Your Space by Christopher Griffin. I love his energy, it's just so fun, and I love hearing him talk about how plants can liven up a space, what plants are good for beginners, all that kind of stuff. The section that I've personally been loving is the Cultivating Your Routine section because I'm awful at remembering to water my plants, and his kind of philosophy is that if you make it fun, if you make it an enjoyable experience, you'll want to do it every day. So I've been trying to implement that in my life with my new plant here, and hopefully it will work. So I do have a special offer from Skillshare for you guys. The first 1,000 people who click the link down in my subscription will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So again, thank you so much to Skillshare for supporting me and my content, and for you guys for watching my content. It's also great. So yeah, now we can get back into my fall TBR. So I kept this list rather brief. Maybe that just shows that I don't have much faith in myself, but it's fine. So we're just gonna start talking about the books. They're all either like spooky or atmospheric or mystery books or just thrillers or whatever. There's like a mishmash here, so I feel like I might have something that appeals to everybody. We will see. So we're just gonna get into it. The first one I have here, I actually put on my October TBR from last year, and if you've been here since my October TBR from last year, you know it flopped severely. I think I read like, no, I don't think I read any book out of my TBR from last October. It was bad. Am I still gonna make another one for this year though? Like, yeah, absolutely, be on the lookout. But this is the one book off of that TBR list that I started, didn't finish. I think I got up to page like 70, and I just want to read it so badly. And the other like spooky book that I've read from this author was so atmospheric and just such a great read, and that is Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. I've been saying I'm gonna read this for the last like 2 years now, and I just haven't. And the thing is, it's not even that long. It's literally like 200 pages. But for some reason, I can't get myself to do it. But I want to so badly because I think I'm really gonna like it. I don't know too much about this book, to be honest, but I do know it involves like a traveling carnival, which is kind of giving me Night Circus vibes, which is probably another book I should have put on this list. Honorary mention number 1. I really want to read The Night Circus this fall. It is on my 2022 TBR, so I need to read it. So there's a little bonus book on the TBR, but like I said, this one follows a traveling carnival. It follows 2 13-year-old boys who manage to stumble across it. Spooky things happen. Honestly, what more could you ask for? I would just put this on like my October TBR, but the odds of me actually reading it in October like clearly aren't that high based on how the last 2 years have gone. So it's going on the general fall TBR. If I read this anytime this fall, I will be happy about it. So there's book number 1. This next book is in one of my favorite editions of like classics, and they're these Penguin Little Black classics, and this is To Be Read at Dusk by Charles Dickens. So this includes 3 different stories that are kind of ghost stories, I think. Here we go. 3 chilling ghost stories tell of deadly premonitions, dreams intercepted, and specters bearing silent warnings. I also thought this was a really good pick for a TBR because it is very short. It's like 53 pages, so hopefully I can, you know, finish this up. I want to do like some 24-hour readathons for the fall. Like, that'll be really fun. I really want to do those. So I thought this would be a good like one for those because it's very short. And then the last classic type of book I have is The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. I just realized I left the stickers on here so you can see what a good deal I got on this book. It was originally $5.97. I got it for only $3. This is a book I really am super excited to get to. I believe like the main premise for this book is that it follows like a governess who is watching over these 2 orphans, and then weird shit happens. This says, uneasy and sinister, this novella shows a woman haunted by an eerie and evil presence that emerges from the terrors of real life. That sounds fantastic. I've heard so many good things about this book, and again, it is very short. It's only like 144 pages, so I'm really excited to see what I think of this. I can't wait to see what I think of Henry James. I can't wait to see what I think of his writing style, and I just think that fall is the perfect time to read spooky classics. So there we go. The next book I have on this list is a thriller. I actually don't really know too much about this thriller, to be honest, but I know there's a fantastic movie for it, and I know a lot of people just absolutely love it. So that is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. So I'm just gonna read you the back of this one because I really don't know anything about this book. I don't want to go into knowing too much, but I'm still gonna read the blurb to you. This says, it's the morning of Nick Dunn's 5th wedding anniversary and his wife Amy has disappeared. Under pressure from the police and a growing media frenzy, Nick's portrait of a blissful union begins to crumple. Amy's friends say she was afraid of him, his computer reveals disturbing secrets, and he keeps getting mysterious calls on his mobile phone. So, what really did happen to Nick's beautiful wife? I'm calling it right now. Nick did it. I think it'll be perfect for like September. I feel like September is specifically a really good time for like thrillers and mysteries, and then October is when you get more into like the horror kind of stuff, and then November gives me gothic vibes. Like, those are like the 3 main categories that I separate those months into. So I also really want to read this because Gillian Flynn is from Kansas City, which is where I am from. So don't know if I've literally ever read from an author who has lived in Kansas City. I don't know why I would, but I just think that'd be cool. Next up, I have a series that I kind of put on my fall TBR from last year. As you can see, a couple of these are just me trying to rectify all my failures from 2021, but it's fine. I just had a renewed vigor recently to reread this series because I read it for the first time in September of 2020, and I know I loved it, but I don't remember too much of what goes on, but I know I'm gonna love it again. I just think it'll be the perfect time to read it, and that is The Monsters of Verity Duology by Victoria Schwab. I would honestly be cool with rereading like any series from Victoria Schwab because I read like her 3 main series back in 2020, so I don't really remember too much of like anything, to be honest. But this one I want to read specifically now and for like the fall, October, whatever time, because it does involve monsters. I love the premise of this book. I thought it was so cool and I'm so excited to read it again. So in this universe, monsters are like born from acts of violence. So if somebody were to, I don't know, get murdered somewhere, a monster would like pop up. So you're following our main character, Kate Harker, who eventually meets August Flynn, who is a monster. And even though they are a monster and a monster hunter, a beautiful friendship blooms. I love them. I just think it's gonna be so fun to reread these. I love Victoria Schwab's writing, and yes. Next up, I have a couple of other books that I'm kind of going to talk about as one entity, and that is The Vanishing Stair and The Hand on the Wall, both by Maureen Johnson. These are the 2nd and 3rd books in the Truly Devious series, and I read Truly Devious like early in 2021, and I've been wanting to continue this ever since. But I did put this on my 2022 TBR, and I'm really trying to read a decent amount of books off of that, and so far I've been slacking, but both of these are on there. So if I could just like plow through the rest of the series, that would be very helpful. I also just really want to know what happens in the rest of this. I don't think you really got any answers at the end of Truly Devious, and I think it's gonna take 2 more books to get the answers that I really want. So, although I don't really remember too much about Truly Devious at this point, I'll probably have to look up a little plot summary. So I will kind of just tell you what the synopsis for Truly Devious is, because I really can't talk too much about what these are, but I thought I could at least tell you what the series is about. So it follows our main character, whose name is Stevie Bell. She ends up getting invited to this private school that's like up in the mountains of Vermont, which, first of all, love this setting. That is one of the reasons that I love this book. And at this private school, all of the students kind of have like this specialized area of interest that they're like experts about, and Stevie's specifically is true crime. And the fun thing is, well, maybe not fun, but the interesting thing is that back in the day, the like founder of this private school, his wife and daughter were actually murdered by somebody who went by Truly Devious. So obviously Stevie is making it her mission to solve this, and that's kind of the entire plot of the series, I believe. So like I said, I read Truly Devious back in 2021. It was really fun. I think I gave it like a 4 or 5 stars. I feel like you can't not love this book. Like, I've seen so many people who also just love it. So I'm just really excited to continue the series. This is definitely like a September-y kind of read in my mind. So definitely, oh, I guess I need to read soon, huh? I'm gonna read these soon. Now I guess we have some like more fantasy-ish YA, shall we call it? So first up, I have Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I was gonna read this book over the summer, and then I did not. But I've seen from a lot of you guys that you really love this book, and I have high hopes for it as well. I feel like I've said this so many times, but I've heard it has like Studio Ghibli vibes, which, hello, thank you. I need that in my life. And I believe this takes place in a library, which is primarily why I want to read this in the fall. I feel like dusty old libraries, I believe like the books are sentient in this library too, and that just screams fall to me. So I'm really excited about this, and then if I like this, I'm definitely gonna be picking up An Enchantment of Ravens by the same author. So yes, I'm really interested to see what I think of this. I actually read the first chapter of this for a little try it chapter video that I did a while ago, and I was very intrigued by it. So next up, we have something that I picked up from the library on a whim yesterday. I think this is going to be the perfect like September read, because I do believe this kind of takes place in the summer, which scary books that like take place in the summer, I love them. They're always so good. But I think I might just read you the back of this one, because honestly, I have not done too much research into this book myself. This says, the Swan sisters arrived in Sparrow, Oregon in 1822. I'm already interested. Give me the Oregon spooky vibes. Marguerite, the oldest, had long auburn locks, full lips, and a sharp jaw. Aurora, the middle sister, boasted soft waves of hair and bright full moon eyes. And Hazel, the youngest, was the plainest of the three, with smaller features and hair that twisted into a tumbling braid. Each was beautiful, and each was misunderstood. A year later, the townspeople executed the Swan sisters for crimes of witchcraft, placing a curse on the small town of Sparrow, a curse that has never been broken. Until now, perhaps. Honestly, small towns with curses set on them? Say no more. I feel like I read a book kind of with that atmosphere. The Ghost Tree, I think, by Christina Henry. It gives me that vibe. It's also like not super long or anything, so I'm really excited to read something by Shay Earnshaw, just because I feel like I've seen a lot of her books around, but I've never like wanted to pick one up. She also has another book. Ooh, I'm gonna add this one to the TBR too, which is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, which is like a Nightmare Before Christmas novel kind of thing, which follows Sally. And I love Nightmare Before Christmas, so if I like this one, no, I'm probably just gonna pick that one up even if I don't like this one. So there's another additional book to the TBR, but The Wicked Deep, I think it's gonna be so good. And then the last one I have on here is my monthly bunny read with my friend Elaine, and that is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I have heard literally so many good things about this book, and I think this one's gonna be perfect for fall, because I do believe this takes place at like a college, which anything that like takes place at a college I'm in for. I think there's like a secret society. At any rate, I think this is just gonna be a really good time. There's a lot of fantastical elements in it, obviously, from what we're seeing on the cover here, and I feel like it's kind of gonna be like a magical dark academia type moment. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, okay, I remember why I was so interested in this now. This is called A Modern Day Twist on Arthurian Legend. It follows a black teenage girl who discovers a secret, historically white magic society. Yes, that literally sounds so good. I'm so excited. And I believe the second one comes out soon. I have high hopes. I feel like I have not seen somebody dislike this book, so it's gonna be real fun. So yeah, that was a lot of talking, but those are all of the books on my 2022 fall TBR. I'm so excited about it. I love fall reading. And this isn't even all of it. I'm gonna do like a separate October TBR, which will be coming later this month. So yes, this is like kind of just kicking off my autumn content. I'm so excited about it. I have been planning all of these videos for like months, honestly. So the fact that I finally get to sit down and film one, I'm having the best time already. So yes, I really hope you guys enjoyed the TBR. If you did, please let me know if you read any of these, or maybe like tell me ones I should pick up first. Like, what do you have any favorites off this list? Please let me know. If you haven't read any off of this list though, do tell me if any of these interest you. I'd love to know. So that is the video, and I will see you in my next one.